to the Supreme Court now. Take a breathalyzer test or go to jail. It's a crime, actually, in several states to refuse to take a sobriety test if a police officer requests that you do so. The Supreme Court will now decide whether these laws are constitutional or whether police should be required to get a search warrant first. Jan Crawford has been following this case and joins us now. So Jan, we're invoking the Fourth Amendment here. So explain again the argument for requiring a warrant in these cases.
Okay, so, the Fourth Amendment generally requires, police officers to get a warrant before they can search you or your house or anything else unless you consent. So the way in the driver's license context that has kind of come down is that if you don't want to take a breath test or a blood alcohol test, you can say no, and they'll suspend your license. But now what's happening is that states across the country are starting to impose these pretty harsh criminal penalties. So if you say, I'm not taking a breathalyzer test, I'm not taking a blood alcohol test, they can actually throw you in jail. So you're going to be facing jail time. And critics of these laws say, this is pure government overreach, that, they should be able to, get a warrant if they're going to do that before they can do something as invasive as, take your blood out of your arm or you're going to risk jail time.
This is a fascinating part, frankly, of your job, the ability to then to parse the reactions of the justices as they hear the oral arguments, which they did yesterday. So what would you say were the reactions on both sides here?
Oh, okay. So first of all, this case was a total train wreck. There were several lawyers that were arguing the cases, and several of them really struggled to present their cases to the point that the justices literally, Josh, were talking to them like they were 4-year-olds. Like, okay, here's Justice Sotomayor's question. Here's what she's asking you. So, you had to kind of wade through some of that, and it actually was kind of humorous at times, although very painful. But, I think what happened during the argument is that the justices went in thinking, what is the big deal, say with the breathalyzer test? You're pulled over on the side of the road, you blow into this thing, and if a warrant were required, well, that's going to take valuable time, right? They're going to have to call, it's 5 or 10 minutes, or 30 minutes in some cases, so maybe we should not require a warrant. Well, they get into this argument, and the lawyers are flailing around trying to make their cases, and it comes out that actually to take a breathalyzer test, they don't do that on the side of the road. I didn't know this either. The things that you see, those little boxes that people blow into on the side of the road, those aren't admissible generally in court. So cops are having to take a suspect down to the police station to do these fancy breathalyzer tests or to the hospital to do a blood test. And so the justices are like, whoa, wait a minute. If you're saying that you're going to take these suspects to the police station anyway, then why would you not want to get a warrant? You can do it in the car, when you're driving them to the hospital for the blood test or to the station. So I thought the lawyers really, it's interesting, you rarely see this, but a lot of stuff came out in the argument that the justices were completely surprised by, and they didn't like it. The justices like to be able to read the briefs and read the lower court opinions and not hear new information in an argument. So I thought they lost, the states that are trying to defend these laws lost a lot of ground yesterday. I still think, based on the argument, the justices probably will not require a warrant for a breathalyzer test. Even if you'd have to go to the station, that just seemed to them like you blow into a straw. How invasive is that? But I thought there was a lot of opposition to this idea that cops can say, we're going to take the blood out of your arm. That's very invasive, unless, you agree, or you're going to jail. I think they will require a warrant to do a blood test, because if you think about it, testing your blood and requiring you to have a blood test, that's about as invasive of a search as you can get. And the government, can't just go out and do that, force you to do it under threat of jail time.
Train wreck presentations backing themselves into actual arguments and opening up how many Pandora's boxes? Sounds like quite a day.
Who knows?
Sounds like quite
it's always fascinating up there, Josh.
That sounds like quite a day at SCOTUS. Chief Legal Correspondent Jan Crawford, thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.